Howdy.
Welcome to Everything JayskiBean. Confetti. An announcement video for a bunch of stuff I've been working on this year. Yeah, I've been working. Yeah. The trailer that you guys just saw is for Slendy Something, the Hangry Map Pack. The Hangry Map Pack is an expansion on Slendy Something, a game that Dave Microwaves Games and I worked together to make a few years ago where you play as somebody who is investigating Slenderman's reappearance. This expansion contains 3 new maps, each with 2 Easter eggs, their own unique Slendy with a rare variant of that Slendy, and 8 unique collectible pages. I also fixed some stuff and added some quality of life changes to the game. Slendy Something is once again available right now for free on itch.io and GameJolt. So as some of you know, a few years ago, I made plans for a couple releases around the same time as UNKYS.exe's Missing Minigames update, but these releases never happened. Well, I got a surprise for you. Take a look at what's next. Those were trailers for 3 separate releases, a chaotic collection, and the 2 games from a parody duology, dP.T, Dr. Pepper Terror, and Do Not Pass Go. First, we'll cover the big one, a chaotic collection. This release contains 10 of my old jankier games from back in the day with some quality of life changes, balancing adjustments, and bug fixes. Back Alley Slasher is back. In this game, your cars run out of gas and you're stranded in a dangerous back alley area of the city. You must find gas cans in order to refill your car and hit the road while avoiding the bloodthirsty Graw City Slasher. Big Face Marsh, this one was pretty rough. I had a lot of sprucing up to do because it was pretty old code, similar to Boofie's Bunker. It was my second game after all. This game was originally based off of a passing joke that Markiplier and Jacksepticeye made in one of their old Let's Play collab videos.
God,
Big Face.
Can you imagine if there was a monster called Big Face? Huge, like 20-foot face looming from behind a tree. That's fucking terrifying!
Very small legs.
You lost a bet, and you either have to spend the night in the swamp or come back and show your friend proof of Bigfoot. But there's something else in the swamp, and it ain't Bigfoot. Da Mouth was originally a Patreon exclusive game that I actually threw together pretty quickly. It's the sewer game, the obligatory sewer game, where you have to get through the few levels that are in the game while avoiding Williamson and Da Mouth. The story itself is honestly up to your interpretation on this one. Dangle Dongle Farm was part of the original trilogy I made with Dave Microwaves Games back in the day. It's pretty simple. You play as a guy named Andrew who's trapped on this farm and all these strange creatures and entities are out to get you. Escape the Poo Poo House is exactly what it sounds like. This is the second game in the trilogy that I just mentioned above, so naturally you also play as Andrew in this one. You're stuck in a house full of poop and you gotta escape. I'm not sure what I was thinking when I made this one, to be honest. I just threw it together in like a weekend. And that brings us to Lanky Lonky. So this game was also part of the original trilogy made with Dave Microwaves Games. so you know it's good. This one brings Andrew to the basement of the office building he's currently working at to get supplies for his boss, or so he thinks. But then he runs into Lanky Lonky and his many tormented souls. Night of the Pickle Killer was probably the most rough game to look at on this list of things to update. The coding was insane. That being said, I feel like this game has gone from a complete and utter nightmare to an actual fun little short experience with all the changes that I made. Basically, you're hungry for pickles or something and you gotta collect all the pickle jars and Pickle Valley or whatever. I'm definitely not making this up as I go. But Pickle Man's out there and he doesn't want you to steal his pickles, so he's trying to kill you. Just don't let him kill you and get all the pickles and you win. Oh no, it's Mom. This is probably one of my favorite games in this whole list, and it's based off of those original Windows screensaver, you know, the maze screensavers, but something else is in the maze with you. It's Mom. I did a ton of extra balancing in this game, and it is much, much easier to do a casual playthrough of this one. The Florgan. This game had a few small changes, the biggest change being me shortening all the endings and making them way less complicated. There was way too much text. It's a lot less fillery now and way more to the point. You play as an experiment who was dumped into the containment chamber of a way more aggressive experiment, and you gotta figure out how to escape the facility. And finally, Tuffum's Lair. This game is great. You have to find your way through Tuffum's lair, all the while Tuffum is behind you, chasing you, screaming things like, "I'm Tuffum." What lies deep within Tuffum's lair, you ask? Well, you gotta play the game to find out. Notable changes in this game include a new checkpoint, and Tuffum can no longer see through walls. Yeah, he used to be able to see through walls. Now you know why he could just find you all the time. So those are all 10 games in a chaotic collection. This release is now fully available on itch.io and GameJolt for $0. So the same treatment has been given to dP.T and Do Not Pass Go. Both of these games, in my opinion, are a lot more enjoyable than they used to be, and I can personally now stomach dP.T, which is great. These are both parody games, hence being called the parody duology, and they are based off of IPs that I do not own. dP.T is a mix between Dr. Pepper and PT. Definitely the most crossover of all time. You play as little Billy, and your grandpappy is absolutely bonkers for Dr. Pepper, so he sends you to his shed to get him a new case. Little do you know his shed happens to be a space-time anomaly, and nightmares ensue. Do Not Pass Go is a game based off of Monopoly, and to be honest, the only things that are Monopoly related are the enemies and the collectibles. Otherwise, it's a big scary collectathon game. The goal is to collect $200 and pass go. Both of these games have been taken down from being public before, but now the parody duology is fully available on itch.io and GameJolt. You guessed it, for free. Has to be free because I don't own them. Speaking of games I made based on stuff I didn't make, here's a couple more releases. So let's talk about Peter's Haystack Maze first, since it's the most simple update. Peter's Haystack Maze is an Andy's Apple Farm fan game that I made a few years ago, where instead of 2D top down, it's 3D first person, and instead of following Andy, you follow someone else, and you're gonna have to play the game to figure out who that is. It's one of the secrets. Speaking of secrets, in this update, I added one more ending and just threw it on the pile of endings and secrets that riddle this game. Andy's Apple Farm is one of my favorite IPs, and this game is a love letter to the series. I'm really excited to see what M36 does next. I know they're getting back into game development now, and I think you guys should really play this game. It was a lot of fun to make. The Little Apples update is now fully available for free on itch.io and GameJolt. Now for the UNKYS.exe Dave is Dead update. This update is more for the other two games that are on the game page, Tunky.exe and the brand new, fully released to the public for the first time ever, Dave is Dead. Dave is Dead was previously only available on Patreon. It was originally a birthday gift I made for Dave Microwaves Games. In this game, you play as me, yeah! And your goal is to steal all of Dave Microwaves Games' game ideas and escape. before he catches you. Tunky.exe is a direct fan game / interpretation of Dave Microwave's games as Tunky. Most of the mechanics are the same, the characters are the same, and the ending is pretty much the same. I've added a new game mode where you have to escape Tunky's house while Dave Microwave's games himself is after you instead of Tunky. I've also added some trophies to the main menu that the player can earn as they complete different game modes. UNKYS.exe is a full-sized game based off of Dave Microwave's games' concept of the UNKYS. And fun fact, this file size for this game is bigger than Boofie's bunker. In this game, you confront Tunky, Bunky, and Sunky, and you must find the truth behind their mysterious and sudden existence in the real world. In this game, I honestly didn't really add much for this update besides some bug fixes and a Dave Microwave's games related Easter egg in the main menu. Can you find it? All 3 of these games are fully available on itch.io and GameJolt, free of charge. And that's all I got. I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me throughout this presentation. It's been a long time coming. Just a couple small things before I go. All of the original legacy builds of every game I've listed in this presentation will be available on Patreon for free forever. You shouldn't have to subscribe for any money to access these. I also highly recommend you play these games on a 16:9 resolution. I don't have a widescreen monitor, so I'm not sure how they show on different resolutions. I wasn't able to test it. Oh, and here's a non-game dev update for you guys. A lot of you will probably be excited about this. Let's Plays are back. They're gonna be a lot slower than they used to be. I'm shooting for 2 videos a week and we're just gonna go from there. Oh, and those of you that are still here, you probably noticed something missing, something big. I got one last thing I gotta show you guys.